The last point that I want to make also, which is a very important point, and that is that if you look at UNCRPD, it talks of habilitation and rehabilitation. If my understanding is correct of both these two words, habilitation refers to those who are born persons with disability or who are born with disability, and rehabilitation refers to those persons, rehabilitation of those persons who acquire disability after birth during their lifetime. If I understand them correctly. I said acquire. Who acquire? So if and in the entire bill there is no mention of habilitation. So are we leaving out those who are born with disability?
I think in Indian context, rehabilitation is taken as in our.
We're including it tomorrow.
No, but I just wanted. So then, habilitation will also have to be. Why I have mentioned this? Then habilitation will also have to be included as a definition, if everybody accepts.
But I think in our context, mostly rehabilitation is taken as what you are talking about habilitation. Everywhere rehabilitation is taken as habilitation also.
No. What is happening is something different. Everywhere we are discriminated. So what? Should we allow this?
No, we'll be starting a absolutely new terminology, and then the earlier institutes which
No, what I am saying is something different. First, we are on definition.
Yeah, on
definition. Are we supporting this, that habilitation should also be defined?
Yes.
Or not? That's the issue.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
One more. This is on definition 2T, which is reasonable accommodation. Here it is included without imposing a disproportionate or undue burden on society. Now, when it is rights, there is nothing like undue burden. It has to be done. So we should remove this word undue burden.
Okay. In any case, this recommendation has come. Reasonable accommodation has to be redefined. So this point also we will take into account. Yes, please, go ahead.
Just one small intervention, sir. The rehabilitation, habilitation, if you remember the 2011 bill which we have drafted, the word habilitation has always been there. So I think it should be included.
Can I make a point? Okay.
Be very careful what was the definition given from 11. It said habilitation is a process by which person born with impairments learn life skills, and it said rehabilitation refers to a process by which persons readapt to society. It goes against the definition of person with disability.
Right. It does.
So it was mentioned 100 times, but it was not corrected. It has to be looked into that. We said it
makes it person-centric, goes back to the...
Okay, thank you very much. That point was taken, admitted. Just one point on definition for leprosy cured persons. They still use the term leprosy cured. Everywhere else, and even in the principle and guideline document that India has also signed of the UN, the term now is persons or people affected by leprosy. So I think that should be changed, and that would also then include persons who are affected and yet not treated, which at present they get left out, which is not fair. And in barriers also legal and historical, because especially with leprosy and certain other disabilities like psychosocial disabilities, there is a historical sense of stigma and barrier attached to them.
Ma'am, attitudinal you said for various, which is the other one?
Physical and structural.
Physical, other things.
Legal and historical.
Legal and historical. Is there anyone else who would like to make a comment?
I was today. The question was 1936 where you get very that.
Yes.
The issue is if you start naming conditions.
Rajiv, just one minute. You're next.
Your next issue is if we start naming conditions, it can go to 1,000 conditions. Why liabilities include excluded? So I was wondering earlier the environment local movement is disordered. Maybe because of any condition. You know the percentage, if you start mentioning 11111, why 70? Why not 1,000? I can give you 2,000 names. Now there's no end to it.
I think it's for the purpose of the reservation more than anything else.
I think no, it's for a dual purpose of reservations as well as for certification purpose.
Okay, right. Let me tell you, I have Sphingomyelia. I'm giving you a name, which resulted in my paralysis of both my legs. I thought it would.
That will be certified to local
There is a serious problem. What you are saying is quite rational. You see, linking it with a particular, why do you link disability because of the disability? And spend some and leave out some others. Because you cannot list. We do not know which bacteria is noticed later on, which will cause a particular kind of problem, medical problem, resulting into a particular disability, and it will never get mentioned in the bill. So, medical doctor will strictly going by what has been said in the Act, will not certify you because you have acquired that disability due to a particular medical problem which is not listed out. That is what I have been from the threshold. I am saying that you can't link the cause of disability with the result of the disability. You can't list out the causes. Rajiv, go ahead.
It's very important to define these views. Because we are talking about this without this, and give you the major role in this game. This is one point,
Rajiv, can I interpret that for you first?
Yeah, please.
Rajiv is saying that it's important to define the DPOs because we're saying nothing about us without us, in which case DPOs play a very important role. Second point, here's the second point.
One more point is that when we talk about definition of disability, I suppose we are going to make it well, it has to be defined for
He means that we are somewhere slipping into the medical model again, and I think we should stick to the social model.
Definition of disability.
I have one.
Yeah, Deepak. And then
I'm Deepak from the Tamil Nadu Differently Able Federation, Chennai. I'm a public health specialist. So, coming back to this definition, I think as I follow up with Lucas saying that we shouldn't get into the cause of the disability, but there is one area where the disability movement has graduated to the public health system, is that the ICF, concept of ICF, the International Classification of Functioning. This ICF is a tool wherein it can be modeled for specific disability ascertainments without getting into the cause of the disability. For instance, there is a disability called interactable epilepsy or interictal dysphoric disorder, which is it doesn't conform to depression, neither the anxiety. It does not appear to the DSM-4.
Yeah.
So there are very specific disabilities. For instance, speech, aphasia. There are different types of aphasia where one is not, even the disability sector is not aware of. But this international classification of functioning, wherein this can model and can be sensitive to pick up the disability and give the disability alone, rather than getting into the cause of the disability. I think somewhere we can model that ICF concept into the definition, which can take us or propel us towards the social model of the disability as a type. Thanks. Okay.
Pankaj and then Pankaj.
I just wanted to draw attention of the experts because this is a very important issue of the definition of hearing impairment once again. One is that people who can speak but cannot hear are not covered at all and they are discriminated very badly. This is one aspect. And second aspect is that if we create 2 or 3 categories in the persons with deafness, there will be again a lot of powers to the babus. So can we not adopt the definition given in the 1995 Act, which very categorically says that if your hearing impairment is more than 60 decibels in the conversational range of whatever frequency, I don't remember the exact body. So can we not adopt this definition rather than what Sandeep is saying?
There is one more definition which is missing, which is on children with disabilities, where the biological age of the child is less than 18 years. If that is not given, the children with disabilities requirements and the rights are completely missing out.
We are coming to that section.
Alright, okay.
Yes, can I make a small suggestion here? See, as Deepak suggested, I think we can look into ICF. But is it possible for us to include one rider as any other disability with reference to ICF, which can be adopted in the future, will also be considered a disability, with the larger understanding of possible exclusion as part of the medical definitions that are modeled on medical, the biomedical kind of a definition today. Maybe we can have a rider in that schedule. Could you think of that, wherever it is, right? Wherever you're looking into. Just keep an open, kind of an open-ended thing, where you will, it's maybe the 19 definitions which are already included. Maybe you could say inter alia ABCD definitions, and this schedule can also adopt new definition as and when it is required on the basis of ICF something. That will be of some help.
I think we will have to wind up this, and only I would like to respond. I see a point what Pawan is making, but there is a big but. I don't support any vague definition of person with disability with the scope of ever expanding its scope without any legitimate exercise of testing as to whether that disability actually results into the non-enjoyment of the rights on an equal basis with others in interacting with the environment. That's the danger. You see, it may be an ideal, but no. Therefore, and one thing also in the intervention we must keep in mind. You see, the bill has already been introduced. We probably do not have the scope of rewriting the bill. It's kind of a repair work that you can do, and therefore choose the serious lacunas which needs to be repaired, which ultimately, without which ultimately you cannot live, ultimately which snatches away our right. I agree that all the interventions which you made about the person with this definition of person with disability, it has to be very, very specific, very focused, so that those who need benefit must get benefit, those who do not need benefit because of their condition should not get benefit, because at the cost of the actual disabled persons. No, so keep that in mind in further interventions, because power, no amount of advocacy will ever succeed you to get the bill rewritten. Take it from me. Let us be.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Rupta, that's not the point. The point is the scope will be determined by the standing committee. If there's something which we want to raise,
No.
I don't think.
What I am saying
And
is
I'm bringing this to the attention of the organizers, Rajiv, Rasuli, I mean, let there be a definition of the scope there, because then I don't think that, something like the ICF, I mean, in a situation where Deepak said one person has this condition, we can't expect them to go to the knocking to the doors of the central government to have, like, let's have a notification and identify my disability. Yeah, Rajiv, Rasuli?
One thing I would certainly like to clarify to the House is that we are not drafting a new disability bill. There has been a whole process which has been undertaken in the last few years. What we're looking at in this particular consultation is how we can improve what is there in the RPD 2014, something which really requires our urgent attention, and this is why I want to sort of stand by what Mr. Rupta is saying.
Deepak?
Let's not complicate matters further by making this an academic exercise.
Deepak?
No, I am saying I am only against a residuary clause giving power for inclusion without any proper procedure.
That's right.
Try to understand.
Deepak,
Mr. Rupaji, I am Amutlaji from Hyderabad.
Yes, please.
I am the president for Differently Abled Employees Welfare Association, Andhra Pradesh. I have seen in the net stating that some amendments were proposed in which definition 2T, person with disability means a person suffering from not less than 40% of any disability as certified by a medical authority was earlier provided. This is to be deleted. It was mentioned and it was proposed to be amended. If the 40% disability is removed, there is very scope of misuse of the provisions.
No, it is not removed. It is not removed.
It was mentioned, I have seen the net.
No. It was not